Welcome to this episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics, where we feature the 57th Annual Tournament of Champions. We'll have coaches from all the boys' teams and all the girls' teams featured on our interviews today. Be sure and get your tickets early for the BOK. You can get those online and contact the athletic office at the Education Service Center. The tournament is 28th, 29th, and 30th of December at the BOK. We'll be right back after these messages with 4 of the girls' coaches. Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletic, a special edition, the 57th Annual Tournament of Champions. And I have coaches here with us that are going to tell us about their teams. We'll go around the table and have them introduce themselves and whether it's the schools that they represent, and then we'll get into some in-depth questions. We'll start over here with
Coach Parks, Norman High.
Haley Mitchel, Okarche High School.
John Coons, Kiefer High School.
Shane Amos, Pocola High School.
Well, this is the 57th annual tournament, and I'll tell you, we're excited about it because of the level of coaching that we have and the teams that we have. Let's start out over here and tell us about your team and some of your good players.
Yeah, we won. We're coming off the 2A state tournament championship run. We returned 4 starters. Kel Chitwood is a senior with us. Bailey Larimore is a senior returner. Alyssa Parker is a freshman, and Kylie Smith is a senior returner. So that's 4 starters we returned back. We got good size. The girls are working real hard this year. Best thing about this tournament for us is where we play locally. We see a lot of the targets on our back. We're normally the bigger school, or we're the higher rank. We're coming into something like this is really good for our girls to play with that nothing to lose mentality against some bigger school districts. So,
John, what about you?
We returned all 5 starters from last year. We missed the state tournament by a shot, let it slip away there at the end. But we're excited to build on that, and obviously excited to be here for the first time in school history. We return all 5, like I said: Hannah Coons, Shayna Hendricks, Kami Smith, Pepper Watashi, and Faith Williams. And so we're excited to get going and build on what we did last year.
Haley.
We're very excited to be a part of such a prestigious tournament. We return our 3 leading scorers from last year. We made it to the state semifinals. We return our post player, Emma Stover, is our leading scorer. Our 2 guard, Jaylee Rother, and then our point guard, Jaden Rother, and then we add our 6th man, Tyson Indris. So we have a lot of leadership. Very excited to get to compete against the best of the best.
Yeah, Frankie Parks, once again, Norman High. We have 1 returning starter this year, and we are very senior heavy. Right now we have 10 seniors that suit for us, along with a sophomore and a freshman. Keely Parks is one of our players that is a sophomore this year. Jordan Rollins is a senior for us this year. Nessa Begay, also a senior. Kaylin Simmons, and also Nessa Begay is our 5th starter. So quality group there.
This tournament is a tough tournament, and as we said earlier, and we say every year, somebody is going to be 3-0 and somebody's going to be 0-3. And it doesn't mean you're a bad basketball team. You can be a heck of a basketball team and be 0-3. How do you prepare for a tournament like this?
More so just kind of focusing on the normal things that we do. Nothing really changes for us as it relates to any sort of practice preparation. I think the travel and the overnight stay really is the only major difference. But going in, nothing changes for us. We continue to work on our fundamentals and focus on our offensive sets and keep it rolling in that manner.
Haley, how about you?
As Coach Park said, I think we try to focus on what we do well and focus in on our strengths. We also like to look at one game at a time and different situations and practices to prepare for such a tough tournament where you're going to see three quality teams and prepare for it like you would if you were in a state tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll give the boring answer as well. I think for us, especially, we opened late. Our football team had an outstanding run, so we're just now opening up tomorrow. We've had kids out with injury, and so I think at that point in time, we're still going to be just trying to find a rhythm, trying to find ourselves, and still settle in on roles and everything else. So
Which five played what best together?
which five play, and just the certain little things we need to do and where we need to put people. So kind of in their boat.
Shane.
There's two things we did. We took away scrimmages the week before this tournament, where normally we would be scrimmaging, just to give us more practice time, more time to heal if we need it. And then also, like the travel for us, we'll be in a hotel. That's been a good thing for us in the past because we're able to do some film study where if we're at home, we can't do that stuff. So, I do feel like, and the girls have done a good job with that. The meetings at Oklahoma City last year, they were there, they were paying attention. Film study was real good for us. So I do like that fact that we'll have that option.
But this part of this thing really is emulates a state tournament because of the level of competition. And you're in a hotel if you have traveled distance and you're playing in a big venue, which is different. The basket is not on the wall. It's out in the middle of space, and so it makes a lot of difference with that. What is coming to a tournament like this, and we'll start with Haley on this, what does this mean to your kids?
It means a great deal. When we received the invitation, it's an honor to even be thought of for a tournament that has such prestige behind it. And so our kids definitely took it as a compliment. They also know as we go anywhere, any tournament, any game, you're wearing an Okarche jersey and you're going to represent not only our school, but you're going to represent our town and our community. And for us being from such a small school, our school's our whole community and everyone rallies behind you. And so I feel like they're wanting to represent with class and then wanting to play to the best of their ability.
Frankie.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to be present, last year. And so being able to be here once again, receiving that invite, once again, most of my girls were able to participate in this last year. So it's pretty special. It's an honor for us to be here. They really enjoyed it last year, and we're definitely looking forward to it this year.
Do you feel like that's an advantage having played here before?
Absolutely. It kind of gives you some insight as to what to expect, once again, to travel, to stay, the arena itself, being able to participate there. So, yeah, I think there is a bit of an advantage there as far as having some experience here already.
Shane.
Our kids are ecstatic as well. This is the first real big tournament in a while for us. Our girls teams were here back in the mid-2000s, late 2000s, I believe, several years. They came and competed in this. And a lot of family members from some of our girls were on those teams, so they got to come up here and watch. So they're excited too. And just from the communication from Mick already and the way things have went with this, I can already tell the amount of prestige this tournament holds. They do a really good job.
You'll be impressed. It's on game day. It's big time. Coach.
Just like everybody else, I think probably some of our kids didn't even know what the tournament champions was. Our school's never been here, and so they're excited to represent our school for the first time. Obviously, they play it to be okay, to play the competition we're playing. For me, I played in it 31 years ago, and so for me to be able to come back and coaching as well, and then coach my daughter on top of that. So from a personal standpoint, I'm very excited. But just happy to see these girls, the looks on their faces when we told them, and I can't wait to watch them go out on the floor for that first game.
Shane, what's one thing you want to get out of this tournament?
Competition, and we've been preaching play hard constantly, and we're going to see, no matter who's in this field, three teams that we either better play hard constantly or we're going to get ran out of the gym. So I look to see us come out with a whole new look on what playing hard means, and I'm hoping this competition will get our girls to buy into what the daily message is.
Frankie, what do you think?
Just consistency from our girls. It's going to carry over throughout the season. And then once again, just the experience itself. I think that's going to help them To be able to play in a big venue like this, and as the season goes on and we get to the playoffs, there's no pressure. It kind of gives them good feel for things already.
Haley.
I'd say definitely the competition, the experience, and being the first tournament of the year for us, we're ready to see what we can do 3 days in a row.
Coach.
Same competition experience. You know, when we have a big lead at the end of the game to go to the state tournament, and the other team's putting the rush on us, I want us to be a lot calmer this year and be able to handle it.
Well, congratulations for being here. We're glad you're here on the show today. And when we come back, we'll have 4 boys coaches that will talk about the boys side of the bracket.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnston is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to this special edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics as we preview the Tournament of Champions, the 57th annual Tournament of Champions, with the new sponsor, Quick Trip. Let's get into this, guys. Introduce yourselves, and then we'll go back around and talk about your players.
Scott Norris from Edmond North High School.
Jeff Edmondson, Dale High School.
Jared Reese, Kingfisher High School.
Larry Johnston, Roff High School.
Well, Larry, let's start with you. Tell us about your team, returning starters, and what you look forward to this year.
Yes, Roff, we've been to the state finals the last 2 years. We got beaten overtime and by 1 the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we graduated 4 starters. So we were really inexperienced last year and got back to the finals last year. And we have 4 of those guys back, plus 3 others that played a lot. So we have 7 guys back that played and 4 starters. So we're excited for this year, looking forward to this year, and extremely honored to be a part of the field.
Coach.
Yeah, at Kingfisher, we have 7 of our top 8 back from last year, all seniors. So we have 7 seniors that play significant minutes, and they 28-1 last year and won state championship. Really love this group. They've been playing together since they were little kids. Had them in the program for a long time, so very familiar with the way we do things, and just they're a joy to coach.
Had a pretty good run of athletes through Kingfisher.
Yes, we have.
Good coaches are made by good players.
They make us look good.
Coach.
Dale High School, we won state championship last year. We started, believe it or not, 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores last year. So we've got everybody back. We're really excited about this group. We're led by Dayton Forsyth, and my son, Easton Edmondson, is also in the group. So it's a really special group for me because I've coached these kids growing up since they were all in about the 2nd grade.
Oh,
so it's a great group of parents and support. So we're really excited about this year.
Scott.
Edmond North, we returned all but 1 graduating senior from last year's state championship team. It was a group that was mostly sophomores last year, so they're juniors now, and just an exciting group for us. And I think we kind of found ourselves a little bit last year, and so it's a different role for us this year, kind of expectations and learning how to deal with that. But we're extremely excited to be in the tournament and see how it goes.
So over here, Coach, this is a tough tournament. Every game you play is up against the wall. Does that alter your preparation in any way?
Not at all for our guys at Roff. Our guys, baseball, we are a power regardless of class size. So our guys kind of relish the chance to go play. So we're excited. We know our backs are going to be against the wall every night, but the thing about it, we feel like this tournament can do nothing but make us better and get us even more prepared for the state tournament this year.
Scott, what about you?
Our preparation will be the same. We'll do the same routines that we do, for every other game. It's just something that's constant for us. And, it's a 3-game tournament, just like the state tournament, and you're playing great teams every night. So it's a great preparation for March.
What's you, Coach?
We're honored to be in the tournament. We look forward to the challenge of playing against such good teams and good coaches. Our group, even though they're very young, they're very mature. Every night, we know that we're getting the other team's best shots, so they know every night we got to be prepared to play or we're going to get beat. So we look forward to it.
The best thing about this tournament is not just the players, but going against really good coaches get to figure out through these 3 games what's working, what's not working for the tournaments that really matter at the end of the year. So it's why we love having these kind of holiday tournaments, so we can see what adjustments coaches made to how we play, and then make those adjustments throughout the year so we don't get a surprise later on when it really matters.
You know, one of the good things about this tournament, I think, is it gives you tremendous competition, and you don't have to leave the state. You know, you get to stay in state and spend all that money going all the places that everybody else goes to, Dallas and everywhere else. As you get into this time of the year, it's early. Some people haven't had their kids at all. Some have had football players for a couple of weeks. Is there a transition for your players that you have to go through a little bit quicker to get ready for a tournament like this?
For us, not as much. We're in a small school. We've played 8 games already at this point, so this is pretty much, matter of fact, tournament this week. So this will be right in the middle of us, right in the middle of our season. So we just keep rolling, and keep going. That is one advantage we have. And so hopefully we can use that a little bit.
All right. Coach?
We're 6-0 right now. We battled through some injuries, but I've got a really hard-working group. You would think we lost last year because they're up here in the morning working on their game, getting up shots, practicing. They come up at night. So it's a great group because they work so hard. But everybody's really excited. Our community's really excited. We got great support, so can't wait.
Coach?
Yeah, our kids really look forward to this just because our kids don't really, and some of these coaches have the same deal. They don't really look like they should be that good at basketball when you look at them. So they kind of take that challenge, on, and getting to play in these against some schools that are bigger and really good. They just really take pride in that. And the preparation, it's not much different for the coaches, but for the kids, they get really excited about it. And we try to scrimmage some really good teams leading into this in the off season, just so they're ready to go. They're not surprised when they run into the Edmond, Norris of the world.
Well, speaking of that, Scott, that's a question there. As you know, you're playing, I think, all but maybe one that's bigger, that's Union, and the rest of them are all smaller. Do you alter your preparation any with that?
No. I mean, Coach Reese can say what he wants, but they kicked our tail in the scrimmage pretty good. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's basketball, and kids are got to go out there and make plays. So that, nothing changes for us. I mean, it's been an interesting year for us because we're a little bit more front-loaded in our tournaments this year. We played both our tournaments before the new year, so we've already played 5 games, so it's a little bit different for a 6A school to have that many games under their belt now. So, we've tried to prepare the same way as Coach Reese talked about with scheduling scrimmages. We played a high-level scrimmage, scheduled to really prepare, and I think, hopefully we can be prepared for what we have in store after Christmas.
This tournament means a lot to a lot of people. I can remember we started a student athlete advisory committee when I was at TPS, and we went around the room the first meeting the next year and said, "What's the biggest thing that you had last year as a junior in this group?" And the little girl said, "Well, it can't get any better than that. We played in the Tournament of Champions. We played in the state tournament and we won it." I said, "How much more can you get out of basketball?" And I think that's the thing that when you get down to it, it is a big venue. But when the ball goes up, it's just another basketball game. What does it mean to your kids?
Oh, it's such an honor. At Roff, we're in a fun run right now. I think we're at a streak of either 8 or 9 straight seasons of state championship appearances between baseball and basketball. So our kids, and it's our group of juniors, and since they've been freshmen, they've only played in state finals. So it's a fun run for them. Roff, in 2010, Roff got to come up here, and it was like for most small schools, it was a rough weekend, but it turned into a gold ball. And that's what we've talked a lot about. It's like this weekend we'll do nothing but get us ready. And as a small school, our goal is to come up here and get ready and put ourselves in a better chance to win a gold ball in March. So, and they're excited.
What about Dale?
We won last year as freshman and sophomore, and we know how tough it is. It's a big challenge, but this kind of gives us a new challenge this year. We definitely want to win a gold ball again, but playing this tournament champion is just another challenge that we look forward to.
Scott?
Our kids, take it extremely serious, and they're honored, to to be able to be invited and to be on a big stage like this, that everybody in the state's looking at this tournament as the best, and then having that mix of small school, large school, I think that's very intriguing, for everyone. So our kids have nothing but respect for the tournament and are honored to be a part of it.
What about you?
Yeah, the thing I like about it the most is because we've been in this before, is to see some of the kids that we played against or that were in the tournament, watching them on TV, or seeing them later on in life and say, hey, we played against that kid. We're texting former players like, remember when we played against so and so in the tournament of champ? That's what's really neat for some of these schools, for all of our schools, really. It's just say, hey, we get to play against that guy when we're watching him on TV in a couple of years.
Mick alluded to it in our banquet earlier today about the New Year's Eve, and we always kind of kidded. We spent 2 years at the Mabee Center because it went through the January 1st before that game was over, and it's really a great time. Well, guys, congratulations for being here. Good luck this week in the tournament, and when we come back, we'll have more girls coaches in the 57th annual Tournament of Champions.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnston is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnston has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field, and that it's the littlest things that will make all the difference in the long run.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with, not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to this special edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics, where we're featuring the 57th annual Tournament of Champions. I have three of the women's coaches here in our third segment of the day. Let's start over here, and you introduce yourself and tell us what school you're from.
I'm Coach Tina Thomas from Bixby High School.
Okay.
Melody Stewart from Lincoln Christian.
And Darlean Calip from Sapulpa.
Well, ladies, we're glad you're here, and I hope that you have success in this tournament. Let's talk a little bit about Sapulpa and talk about where you are right now in your preparation for this season.
Well, right now we just finished our third game of the year, and right now playing pretty well. Just really young, and just taking it day by day, just trying to get better, get better court experience for our young kids, and we'll start a tournament this weekend, and just season's just going for us.
How's your preparation?
Well, we are slightly underway. We had to reschedule a game with Jones because of a state tournament in football, and then so we played Cassia last night, opened with them. So we've got one game under our belt, and had a pretty good scrimmage schedule with some good teams, and did well last night. So we're excited about it.
Good. How about you?
Last night was our first game, so we were eager to play long preseason, but kids have been working hard, very determined. We have our top six are back from last year, and so we have some good leadership. We got some young ones that are going to add a lot of depth and diversity to us. So we're looking really forward to that, and for us just getting better with each game.
Tina, let's talk about some of those individuals that you're going to count on.
I have four seniors. Gracie Wernley, she's a three-point shooting guard, going to Abilene Christian. I've got Meredith Mays. She's like our 6'3" post girl. She's also going to Abilene Christian. Got Gentry Baldwin, point guard, going to RU. And then I've got Alyssa Nielsen going up to Drury. So very excited for them, for how they for them to have a strong finish for their senior year and for the future.
And to move on, that's fantastic. Yeah, all the pre-commitments. Yeah. Melody, what about you?
We're excited about it. I mean, I feel like we have a good group coming back. We have 3 seniors, 2 of which are 2 of our better players. Ellie Brueggemann, who will go and play with the Nielsen girl at Drury next year. And then Addison Roberts, who's our point guard. She's committed to Oklahoma Christian to play softball. And then we have some young kids to add to that mix. Audrey Hopkins, she's got some D1 prospects out there. And she did really well for us towards the end of the season last year, battled some injuries early on. And then probably our next one will be Maddie Stewart. That's my daughter. And she's a freshman this year. So it'll be exciting to see how that core group of kids kind of puts it together.
Yeah. Darlean.
I really like our team. We've got some great leadership. Staley Hurd is one of our seniors. Just a phenomenal athlete, excel in any sport she participates in, was a state champion in cross country, will make all-state in volleyball. And so she's an OSU commit. Her sister Tyla is a junior and is an exceptional athlete too, getting some Division I interest. And she can play and score at all 3 levels. Reagan McWhorter's a senior that came back to Sapulpa this year, is bringing us some experience in leadership as well. And I've got some young kids, some sophomores, juniors, some freshman class that are really athletic, brings a lot of quickness and athleticism to our teams and depth. So super excited about our team, and they get along great off the court, and that's tremendous in girls basketball. So I'm just excited about the potential that we have and where we'll end up being.
And you're good. You're in 5A.
We're in 5A. That's right.
So, Melanie, what, if any, different preparation do you do? You played 1 game.
Yeah.
And we've got 3 weeks before the tournament. How many games do you have before that? And do you anticipate that that is a hindrance or a help?
Well, we'll play 3 games this weekend, and then we have next week, we've got a game. So we'll have a few games, a handful of games underneath our belt going in, but just preparation-wise, I mean, look at it's like trying to prepare for a state tournament. It really is. And the field that is there this year is extremely tough. It's very competitive. Just like these ladies have talked about right here. I mean, the caliber of the players that are on these teams, that alone, just preparing for that night in and night out, depending on who you're playing, that's like a huge undertaking, and I always credit my assistants. I have good assistants that do a good job with film work. And so we'll spend a lot of time on film over Christmas break.
I'm not sure that we've had that many commitments before Christmas to play in this tournament. That's amazing. But your preparation.
Well, we have a lot of games. We play next week. We have a tournament this week. There in Bixby, and then we have a couple games next week. Then we're going to a Phoenix tournament the week before Christmas. So we got a lot of playing. So I guess our playing is going to be a lot of our prep. Now, with any game, we're going to watch them, we're going to break down. We're going to do, our due diligence and scouting and preparing for everything. But we're just going to take it one game at a time and try to get better every day. It's kind of the philosophy.
The tournament, the way it is, and the prestigious setting that is the BOK and everything, and the people that come, there'll be great crowds at that time. What does it mean to your team and your community to be able to go and play in this tournament?
Well, we're very excited. The kids are super excited. Anytime you have an opportunity to play at one of the best tournaments in Oklahoma, you want to take your kids there and get them the experience and the exposure. And like Coach Stewart said, the tournament, it's basically like a state tournament. So you're getting an opportunity in December to see 3 quality teams back to back to back. The kids learn how to play and recover, and just they got to get back out the very next day. So giving them an opportunity to do this in December just kind of prepares them better for March. They have a better idea of what's going on. And we're getting ready to go to the Arkansas Tournament Champions actually tomorrow, Thursday. And so that will give us another opportunity to go against some quality teams and, have to get back into it game after game. And, that will just better prepare us for this coming tournament, the TOC of Tulsa, and just in the future for our program.
No.
Well, I feel like anytime you can play in a venue like the BOK, that's star striking for anybody. Just being able to play on that court, and I think last year was our first year playing in this tournament, and that was just an amazing opportunity for those kids to be able to say that they were able to do that. And then on top of that, just playing in the prestigious tournament that this is, that's just an honor, and we're just honored to be a part of it and hope that we bring our best game, put our best foot forward.
Dina?
Yeah, I echo these ladies' sentiments. I mean, just to be invited is a huge honor. You hope you go out there and, honor the people that invited you, honor those that were before you, honor the game and the way you represent yourself and your community, and, the lovers of basketball in the state, because, regardless of who's there, there's a certain people you look in the stands. And I love that tradition. I love that history. I thought the BOK did a fabulous job last year making me feel special. I think they did a great job of making my girls feel special and honored them in the way they were treated. So I love that. I love that experience for the girls.
They've been fantastic partners ever since we started the showcase, the one-day showcase where we played 8 games in a day and everything. And that kind of opened the door, for this. Right. And when things went south on our negotiations at another venue, this opened up and it was great. One of the things about the bracket, I have to mention that one year we handed the brackets out, and the young man coaching boys came up to Mick and said, "Why did you give me, why did I have to play this team?" He said, "I'll tell you what, look at that bracket and tell me who else you'd like." He said, "You know what? I'm okay." Well, ladies, thank you for being here today and taking time to be on our show. And good luck.
Thank you.
We had the Tournament of Champions. And when we come back, we'll have our last segment with the boys teams.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnston versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to our 4th segment of Inside Tulsa Athletic, our special edition for the 57th Annual Tournament of Champions. I have 4 boys coaches here, the last 4. And we'll go around the room and they'll introduce themselves and their school, and then we'll get into some in-depth questions. Start over here.
Awesome. Clint Stewart, Bartlesville. Bobby Allison, Tulsa Memorial.
Rudy Garcia from Union High School.
Sean Shank from Crossings Christian.
Guys, we're glad you're here, and it's tournament time here and just before long. As we look at getting ready for this tournament, it's still 3 weeks away from our taping today. Who are some of your players that have risen to the top right now early in the season?
Yeah, well, I think for us, the big name is David Castillo, 5-star athlete, get recruited by a lot of teams in the country. Had a phenomenal summer and is kicking off this year really well. So we're excited about what he's bringing, what he can do, as well as Adi Iapin, who's a senior for us. 3-year starter, and so we expect him to step up into a large role this year. And then Michael Smith is another senior move in for us, who's playing really well early for us, and we expect him to do some good things.
Good. Bobby?
I got 3 seniors, 2 guys, Seth Pratt and Monte Collins, who played, will end up playing as many minutes for me as anybody I've ever coached. They've been great chargers throughout the career, and Jareth Ingram's senior as well, who's starting this year. Those 3, along with a handful of guys that have waited their turn, kind of make up our nucleus. And we're excited to get going for the Tournament Champions. It'll be great.
Rudy?
Probably for us, the 3 returning kids that started last year, of course, Big Eric Madrid, 7-footer, junior, and then Cedric Dixon and Dalen Fuller, 2 junior guards. So those are the big 3, I guess, for us right now. And then everybody, like I said, a lot of new guys around them. Opened last night, didn't go our way, but a lot of guys just feeling their way right now and try to use these early games to get ready for the TOC.
John.
We've got several guys back from last year that some people may be familiar with. Our sophomore point guard, Cal Furnish, again, had a great summer, had a great season last year. An unbelievable point guard. We've got a 6'6" post kid's also a sophomore, Cam Parker, that also started as a freshman last year. He's a great player, had a great summer on his summer team and also with us. And got a 6'7" freshman that's got a chance to be a really good player. His name is Phoenix Woodson. So we're really young. We bring back a lot of guys from last year. We didn't lose too many people, but we were pretty young last year and are still pretty young. But we've got some really talented kids. And excited to get an opportunity to play in this tournament.
Sean, and speaking about the tournament and the level of competition, is your preparation for this tournament any different than normal during the year?
That's a great question. It may be a little different than these guys with some bigger schools. You know, I'd say as a smaller school, this is such a big deal for our kids. And to get to play schools like these guys that we don't normally get that opportunity to play. And so I think for us, and probably all these guys, your preparation isn't just for this tournament, but for the end game in March. But you want to use it for that. And I think it's just a great litmus test for us and some of the people we're going to see. And it's a great opportunity to compete against people in a larger class for us with great players that, you know, our guys read about in the papers and on social media and are going to get a chance, hopefully, to compete against.
You make a good point in that do you have to do anything outside the lines to prepare your teams?
Definitely. I mean, what are we going to do to compete against, you know, his big kid and his 5-star player and Jared Ingram, some of those players that we don't normally see on a nightly basis. So I think there is a little bit different preparation and things maybe that would be outside the norm that we need to try to see if we can hang with these guys.
Bobby, what do you do?
Well, it is a litmus test, like you said. You know who you are and you know who you aren't at the turn of the calendar year. Once you get through TOC, it's a great barometer for our program and our team, and it's really second to the state tournament as far as all eyes on you, the magnitude, the coaches that have state tournament, state championship experience, and you know, Crossing Christian players could play with anybody in the state. You know, the guys he names, and of course with Union and their tradition, and Bartlesville with what Coach Stewart's been able to culture-wise fill up. You know, you're going against teams that expect to win, and when you do that, you got to bring out your best. So it's a perfect mid-season. Like, okay, this is who we are.
Clint, what about you?
Yeah, well, I think you know, for us and being one of the larger schools in it, you know, we're familiar obviously with Union, familiar with Memorial, even though we don't play them on a yearly basis, but who their players are. I think it's a chance for us, I'm North familiar with, it's a chance for us though to see the smaller schools can play, you know, and every team that comes in as a smaller school, I won't be surprised if they all go on to win state championships this year, you know, and so for us and being a larger school, it's making sure our guys understand that just because it's 4A, 3A, Class B, like every team can play and we have to be prepared to go battle every single night, you know, and so it's just trying to make sure our guys understand that, and it doesn't matter what class they are. If they were in 6A, they'd be competing with every single 6A team as well, you know, and so just make sure our guys have that mindset going in is our big focus.
Kind of like Hoosiers.
Yeah,
Rudy.
Well, and like I said, it is a lot like Hoosiers. I mean, and like Clint said, that's one of the deals for us is convincing our guys that these small schools can play basketball. They're not invited to this tournament for nothing. And everybody has players. And there's so many kids now, like Coach said with his roster, guys that are playing during the summer competitively that they're out there competing against these kids and they know they can play against them. But sometimes when you're at a big school, kids are like, oh, well, we're playing some Class A school. They can't have anybody that can play with us. So they don't, trying to convince your guys, that's the hardest part of preparing for this thing. I mean, you could, Clint, you know, is a, you know, ex-Union kid, and we, you know, played in some games. I mean, Tahlequah Sequoia, you know, got us, you know, and, you know, and so it's a challenge just to get your team ready at times that first round. Because like I said, they sometimes tend to want to overlook those guys. And I think that's my hardest job is to convince these guys, hey, you better be ready because these guys can play. And we saw Crossing this summer, and I know what he's got. So he's got a pretty good bunch over there.
I think people discount the mental part of the game. You know, they don't take that in consideration. The kids read the paper. You know, they're watching TV. They see the names and everything. As we get closer to the tournament time, let's talk about Bobby. You know, this tournament started at Memorial back in the day. What does it mean to your school community and to your team to play in this tournament annually?
Oh, it's something that, you know, all of our students take pride in. You know, you get a lot of alumni back in town during Christmas break, and a lot of people are with their families and everything. And also, you know, in Oklahoma after Christmas, you go to TOC and you watch bowl games. That's the two things to do in the state of Oklahoma. So it's a tradition, and starting at Memorial, it does add a layer to our program that we want to represent, and we want to show that we deserve to be in the tournament named of champions. So I mean, you got to be a champion to be in this tournament. So that's our we just want to represent. And like you said, Doug Duggar, what an idea that this thing will never go away, because it's the best of the best.
Rudy, what do you think about that? What does it mean to your team?
It's been a few years since we've been here, but you know, but I think for our team, like I said, it's a measuring stick of where we're at. You know, we got a lot of new guys, and I think, you know, to be challenged early, you know, like Coach said earlier, the end game's in March, and we got to use these games to help us prepare for that moment. And 3 nights in a row, you're going to play quality opponents, and it's what you're going to see in March. And those are the type of deals that you got to approach it and see what you can do. You know, and like I said earlier, you know, we could be one of those 0-3 teams. I don't know, but you got to take something positive from it and move forward, because it's not, like I said, it's not the end of the world here, but it's a great opportunity to play some quality opponents and get better. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it means a lot for our community, and I'd probably say for us as coaches, you know, something that I think we all probably dream about, making a state tournament. And then if you're in Oklahoma, to be a part of the tournament champions. I think you're right. What Bobby said, those are kind of pillars of basketball here in Oklahoma. Great idea. The combination of large and small and champions. So it means a lot, probably as a small school, but I think the cool thing about this tournament is it means a lot to these guys too, from large schools. And we're excited to be a part of that tradition, and even just for a year or two, it's pretty neat.
What does that mean to you in Bartlesville?
Yeah, so personally, I got a chance to play in the tournament champions 3 times. I've never had a chance to coach in the tournament champions. So this is my 9th year in Bartlesville. I believe the last time we were here were 2005, 2006. And so we're really excited, you know, and obviously to have a chance to play in tournament champions with all the great teams. It's going to be a fun time for our community to be able to get over to the BOK Center, watch us play against these great teams. And so it's everything for us, you know, obviously just being here and to be able to compete and being a part of the champions.
Well, congratulations, guys, for being here. Good luck when the tournament starts. And when we'll come back, we'll have Mick Wilson, who is the Executive Director of Athletics, to talk about ticket sales and the tournament itself.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnston is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hales means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated, because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined, and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people, no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to this special edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics, where we're featuring the 57th Annual Tournament of Champions. And now with me is the director of the tournament and the executive director of athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Mick Wilson. Mick, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gil. Appreciate having me.
Well, I tell you what, it was an exciting day to have the press conference for the 57th time, this tournament. And golly, as we went through the coaches' interviews today, what really struck me was the number of pre-committed student athletes that we have, especially on the girls' side. There must have been 8 or 10 that have already committed to play college basketball next year.
Outstanding field, outstanding talent, and I also say always outstanding coaches. It's just people that get to this point, obviously have put the work in, they've built some good programs, and obviously not only have they built good programs, but they have good kids, good student athletes that are in their programs and come from good families, and they're able to put together a good quality product on the court. And it's just a testament to the schools to be able to have teams of this caliber to want to participate in our
It really
tournament.
is, and they're all excited about it. Every one of them excited about it. Well, we can't have a tournament like this if we don't have community involvement with our corporate partners. You might mention we have a new presenting sponsor, but we also have the ones that have been with us every year since we've been in this tournament.
Absolutely, Gil. I tell you, it was an exciting time in the last 24 hours to know that Quick Trip is going to come on and become our presenting sponsor for the tournament champions. And not only that, but work with the BOK Center folks to be able to put this together and to move forward with the tournament champions. I tell you what, it's a testament to your years, my years, people before us that carried the torch, whether it's J.V. Haney or Doug Duggar, to be able to move the tournament into such a great venue and to be able to have such history. For Quick Trip to get on board and want to be a part, I think is a great testament to a lot of people's work with this tournament. But also some of our people that have stuck with us through a lot of that, whether it's EOC or is now Advanced Orthopedics with, as we talked about earlier, Larry Eggy and now Darren Luno and John Jocelyn with the Cherokee Nation and Joe Deere and the support they understand of developing our youth and having a commitment to them. Also with TTC Federal Credit Union and Christy Job and her folks that help lift us up. We just can't do without it. And of course, our partners here at the DoubleTree have been really good to us, and we'll visit them again in early summer with the Hall of Fame banquet. And then again, Tulsa Sports Commission and the Chamber of Commerce with Joel Kester. All those folks help us with so many endeavors, and to be able to pull this off is not one person. It's not just our staff, but it's a community effort to be able to make this something that represents our district in a positive manner and something that represents the city of Tulsa. This is a product of not only the district but the city of Tulsa, and to have people on board that want to lift us up that way, it's unbelievable and it's very appreciated.
Can you imagine what Doug Duggar would think about the tournament today?
I think he was excited about the product he had. I don't think he would fathom the level that we've been able to, and to take that tournament that was once played at Memorial High School and put it into a world-class venue at the BOK Center. I think he would be proud.
Yeah, I do too. Well, we got 2 minutes in this segment. Let's talk about the girls bracket. Go through that a little bit as you pick those teams to be in there. Let's talk about reasons why and who you think might have a chance to win it.
Well, I tell you what, that's a hard call. You start researching. I'm actually researching for next year's tournament right now, but you start really trying to find out teams that not only have really, really good players, but teams that are going to return a good starting lineup, teams that will have kids that are going to be in their program and have made that commitment. But I tell you what, this year, I probably couldn't tell you who I think would be the favorite. Obviously, we have 2 returners that were in the championship game last year with Lincoln Christian and Bixby, both back in the field again, and that was your championship game last year. I know Lincoln Christian played real well the first 2 games and kind of let that championship game get away from them, but it wasn't for lack of talent or effort. And obviously, Melody Stewart's an unbelievable coach, and Bixby's got a heck of a lineup. Probably were, I would say, I don't criticize officials too often, but I'd say they were probably one bad call away from a state championship last year in 6A girls. So. I would say right now, if you were just looking at that, I would say those would be 2 odds-on favorites. Obviously, Sapulpa girls are really, really good and have played tough schedules. They've been in and out of the tournament champions in previous years. So, again, not to choose any one particular school, but I tell you what, that's a heck of a girls' field. But I would say Bixby will have a great shot, and so will Sapulpa.
That's what, as I said earlier, that's what really caught my eye, the number of pre-committed student athletes already on the girls' side. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the boys bracket, which looks just about as tough. I mean, when you start talking about how many players you got coming back, and the Dale coach tells me that he started 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores last year, and they're all back this year. The tournament is going to be outstanding this year. So when we come back, we'll talk about the boys bracket, and then we'll talk about how you get in where you get tickets, and what you can bring into the BOK.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnston is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I feel like athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back, and this is our last segment of our special edition of the 57th Tournament of Champions and Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have Mick Wilson, who is our executive director. We're going to talk about the boys bracket now, Mick, and boy, what a competitive bracket that's going to be.
Well, I tell you, 4 returning, defending state champions. Unbelievable, great field. Excited to see some of these kids play. Obviously, everyone wants to see the young man from Bartlesville play, David Castillo, a top 10 projected player in the class of 24. So that'll provide another level of excitement just beyond the championship teams, but to be able to see high caliber players, Gil, just like we saw when we had Shake Milton, who now stars for the Philadelphia 76ers, right, to have him in this tournament and different people along the way. But the boys field, again, I couldn't tell you who I think would be the favorite because, again, you got people that have won state championships. And like I used to tell my kids, the year I coached in this when I was at East Central, it doesn't matter what size school, it only takes 5. And if you find 5 really good players, you're in business. It doesn't matter whether you're at 5A, 6A, Class A.
Absolutely.
You just got to have 5 that can go out and compete and play at a high level and play real well together. So, again, looking at the boys field, I really enjoyed. I think Kingfisher's got a really nice team. I would say them coming off their state championship they'll be tough for anyone to beat. And obviously Edmond North, the 6A state champions with several returners. Again, going to be some really good games. But again, don't ask me to make a pick, Gil, because I'm not sure I can tell you.
I'm anxious to see the 7-footer from Union.
He'd be quite interesting to see him play. I think a lot of people will. But, Gil, coming out of the press conference today, it was a really good story. It's something that maybe was under my nose and didn't realize it for Jared Reese from Kingfisher to be able to say that in 2019, the last time they were here, that 5 of the 8 boys teams that we had picked and played in this went on to win state championships. Quite a testament. I think it speaks volumes to the tournament that we have. When 5 of the 8 boys teams can go on and win state championships in their classification, it tells you that I think we're picking some good teams and that they want to be here and compete.
In this day and age, when some people don't want the competition, they go to other tournaments other than this tournament. But we had the right ones, and they do compete hard and so on. Well, how can I go to the Tournament of Champions? Where can I buy a ticket, and how does that operation work?
Well, just today, the tickets have gone on sale online. All tournament passes are there and available. If you go to the bokcenter.com, you'll be able to get all the ticket information you need. Individual session tickets will be $10. We've held that price for several years now and don't plan to increase. So if people just want to show up and buy and walk into an individual session, which is 4 games, that will cost them $10. Of course, we'll close the arena after I call it the morning session, and get ready for the evening session. Again, it'll be another $10. But if you want to get passes now, you can get those up until I think it's midnight on December 27th. That special will go away, but those are $40 online that will cover you for the entire tournament, and that's your best value. A lot of people get those.
Basically, you save $20.
You save $20, and you're able to come and go as you please, to watch as many games as you'd like, and be a part of that. So that's probably the big thing. Security will be tight again at the BOK Center, as it always is. Again, it's a world-class venue, so bags and backpacks and things like that aren't allowed in. If people do bring backpacks, they have to be of the clear variety so that they can see the contents of the bag. But again, I think most people realize that's kind of the state that we live in now, being able to come and go at such a high high level
No,
venue.
absolutely.
So again, I think it'll be good, and we need people to get out and start purchasing those tickets and get online and do some research and find out what works for you.
What do we, as far as media is concerned, do we have streaming, TV, radio? What do we
Streaming
have?
will be exclusive again through Squirtle. Squirtle will do the streaming, of course, through their app that will be available, and that will be provided by Adam Dieselhorse and Grant Merrill will do some of that. I think Chris Lincoln may assist them as well, but that they will be the exclusive streamer. Again, with radio is welcome. Local radio broadcasts are available to come and be a part of that if they so desire.
Sure. Well, that'll be good. I think the BOK is such a great venue for those kinds of operations and so on. As we sum up, before the tournament started here, anything else you want to tell our viewers?
No, I just appreciate the support that we get for this tournament, Gil. Not only corporate and people that lift us up, but a lot of our meal vendors and people that help us to feed the kids during the tournament. A lot of people that provide for hospitality. It is a community endeavor. It's something that we take pride in Tulsa Public Schools. It's something we take pride in within here in the city. And we just want to continue to have a good product, not only for the schools involved, but for the true basketball fans in Oklahoma. We'll get groups that want to come and watch, teams that aren't participating that want to come and be a part of it. So we welcome everyone, and we just want to let people know that this is our community event for everyone involved.
Make sure you get your tickets to the Tournament of Champions. We hope you have a tremendous holiday season, and we'll see you at the BOK on December 28th.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnston is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnston has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics as we previewed the 57th Annual Tournament of Champions. We had 16 coaches on today, 8 boys and 8 girls coaches, and they talked about their teams and their preparation for the tournament. There's some outstanding players in this year's field. The girls bracket alone has 10 student athletes who have already committed to play college basketball next year. And, of course, the number 1 player in the state plays at Bartlesville. You not want to miss this tournament. December 28, 29, and 30 at the BOK. You can get your tickets online by going to BOK.com. We'll see you after the first of the year. Have a happy holiday, and we'll see you at the BOK.